NelsonJoypad.com bring you another original. It's fucking great.
Any good games reviewer or any writer worth their salt is going to research whatever it is they're writing about. I'm certainly not an award-winning author. I'm just a guy that likes video games. But even I had to research the backstory of the most recent game that I've had the pleasure to play, and I do mean pleasure. Dragon Ball Xenoverse isn't my typical choice of game. I had a few bad experiences with the button bashing antics of Dead or Alive and Tekken in my younger days that I've never really gotten over. I accept that this is a rather ignorant thought, but I've felt that the vast majority of fighting games hold little in the way of gameplay. The plot is usually unimaginative, and winning or losing isn't so much about skill as it is about vigorously pressing every button on the controller as fast as you can. It's taken many years, but I've come to see that a few bad eggs from early games in the genre have made me write off the whole lot of them, and that's a damn shame. Dragon Ball Xenoverse has reinvigorated me and has shown me that the fighting and beat 'em up genres are not only alive, but they've evolved to such a degree that not only did I not hate my time with Dragon Ball Xenoverse, as I'd expected, I actually really liked it. I never watched the show or the movies of Dragon Ball, so I was in the dark playing it. I didn't fully understand the significance of Goku battling with Cell or Vegeta, but it was captivating to watch. Dragon Ball Xenoverse begins with you playing through a few short fights that will give you the chance to try out the controls. It's not terribly well explained that this is a tutorial or a prelude, so I had a few minutes of confused button bashing until the game began in earnest, and it was at this stage of Dragon Ball Xenoverse that I began to take note. The game begins with your character creation. Now, there's a few different races for you to choose from, each of the different races having different attributes, strengths and weaknesses. The selection then goes on to gender, and from there you have a healthy number of options to customise the look of your character. It was surprising to me how in-depth the character creation was. I'm not sure exactly what I expected, but Dragon Ball Xenoverse went above and beyond my limited and rather ignorant expectations. And thus we're thrust into the story. You play as an unknown character in the Dragon Ball universe, having just created them, weren't you paying attention? Who's enlisted into Time Patrol, a unique cast of warriors who monitor and fix problems with timelines. When anomalies occur, the Time Patrol travel to resolve it. It's as simple as that. The plot is engaging enough to keep you playing, and it gives fans of Dragon Ball the chance to play some of the memorable battles from the TV show. Dragon Ball Xenoverse has 3 main modes to play outside of the story missions. Patrol missions will see you either on your own or with other players travel to certain times and locations in order to complete a variety of missions. Most of them are going to boil down to simple combat, but not all of them. You can use this time to search environments for gear or materials to craft items. These missions can be really fun and are a good way to level up your character. You can also take your character into online battles with other players in the PvP mode. The final option is the local battle mode, where you can play against a friend with a second controller locally. The bread and butter of Dragon Ball Xenoverse is the combat. Sticking with the Dragon Ball 3D battles, Xenoverse's combat is great. Button mashing will more than likely see your character being slammed into the dirt over and over again. The combat is simple enough to learn with basic attacks, super combo attacks, and a variety of special moves that use special powers or stamina. You can really build up your repertoire and become an anime killing machine. The 3D environments give each map a sense of openness and freedom, but it can lead to problems in combat and camera positioning. When fighting vertically, which happens more than you'd think, you can be right above your opponent and be completely unable to hit them. This quickly leads to raised voices and temper tantrums. Much to my surprise, Dragon Ball Xenoverse is a rather social game, borrowing elements from MMO culture by being able to chat with other players and even hire them to help you complete missions. It added some extra depth to the experience and really got me hooked. Sadly though, when I was playing the game I was regularly disconnected from the servers or I was unable to find any multiplayer missions. I don't think anyone who is familiar with the show will dispute that Dragon Ball Xenoverse looks the part. The artwork is excellently done. With even my limited knowledge, I recognise the attention to detail that's gone into the characters. There's no lip syncing outside of the animated cutscenes, and that's when I felt slightly let down. In the social areas, there's no life to speak of when interacting with NPCs, and the lack of voice acting just makes it worse. It's not bad to the point of ruining the game, but it doesn't further Xenoverse's cause in any way. I enjoyed my time with Dragon Ball Xenoverse, and even though I'm not a fan of the show, it held my attention long enough to hook me into the fighting genre. The combat system in Xenoverse, while not 100%, forces players to actively learn moves and time their attacks to win battles. The look and feel of the game is excellent, and it is let down only by a few flaws, but ones that stop Dragon Ball Xenoverse from being the great game that it wants to be. If you're a fan of the TV show, then Dragon Ball Xenoverse is a game that you must have in your library. The combat system is rugged and requires a level of skill to master. A great little character creation, social and online systems that make replaying missions enjoyable are all in there. Xenoverse is let down by a poor collision detection system during combat, on occasions when fighting at different heights, and the lack of character animation during the in-game conversations prevents Dragon Ball Xenoverse from fully achieving its potential.